Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and more mods on my F-Type Jag. And in this video I'm going to show you how you can change your front end from this to this. So since acquiring my Jag, I've been on a lot of the forums for the F-Type, and there's been a lot of talk about the front grille fitted to the Project 7 car, and I wanted to try and replicate this on my Jag. A lot of people like myself do not like the fact that you've got this great big crash bar going through the middle here, which just really makes a grille look horrible. So I found a company that does a replica Project 7 grille, but they're about 650 UK pounds, and I thought that's a bit steep just for a grille for the car. So further research on the forums and looking around, I think I found a solution that's much cheaper, and the answer can be found in this box. But look. Uh-oh. So what we have here is a carbon fibre complete surround with a crash bar delete, so we don't need to have that horrible crash bar in there anymore. Now it comes with this grille here, it comes with some tape and some nuts and bolts, but that grille looks absolutely pants. So let me show you my solution for that. There it is. This is, as it says down here, a front grille from a Jaguar E-Pace. Now we should be able to take this and we should be able to fit this around the back of that to give a front end that's going to look something like that. Now this is going to need a little bit more thought than just actually replacing what I've got here with the new stuff, because a couple of things. One, we've got parking sensors on here, so we need to figure out a way of mounting those parking sensors in that grille, and the one and only license plate issue. We're going to have to mount that license plate somehow on the front of the car. Yes, I can hear you all screaming, just don't bother with your front plate, but no, I want my car to be fully legal. Here in the UK, we have to have a front plate. So what I might look at is, how small can I get a front plate? And maybe just cut this down, because I'm not sure. I'm going to look at the law on the reflectivity of this plate. I know there is a legal requirement on the size of the characters, but I don't know about the size of the actual plate itself. So I'm going to investigate that and see if I can get a cut down plate that'll just fit nicely just on the bottom of that surround. Anyway, that's probably the last job in all of this. But before I start any of that, I'm looking at the blackout of my Jag, and one of the things I do want to black out is badge, because the badge has got a red background there, which I don't want that. I want it black, because if you look, if you remember when I did my wheels, I've got these here, so I want to replicate that on the front of the car, and I think that will look awesome. So let's get this badge off, let's get it in bits and see what we need to do to get this coloured black. I need to do this job first, because obviously once the grille's all in place, the only way I can get that badge off is by taking the front bumper off, and I want to get this all done before I put the bumper back on. You see the Jaguar head comes off from the back just with one T25 on, so brilliant. So I get full access to this now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this a clean, and then we need to mask off this outer edge here. So I'm not sure you can separate the plastic from the outer edge. Well, look at that, even better. So this just clips out of the back of the grille easily, and then the metal ring just clips out this even easier. So well, you can disassemble that very, very, very easily. So now I can just work on this. Okay, so now she's clean enough to paint, and I've found some of this bumper and plastic paint in black. So I'm going to use this to actually cover that. Lightly dusted first coat. Second coat. Third and last coat. And after the third coat, I then followed up with 2 coats of clear lacquer, and that is now nice and dry. So let's now reassemble it. Now we've got that done, and and fully reassembled, it's time to remove the bumper. So now we've got that baby off, what we need to do is we need to remove this bit of polystyrene that's kind of gives just a little bit of support for the actual front bumper, and that's just got these sort of plastic parts pushed in here, so just pull them out, just them type of things. That's one. So I need to remove this because I need to see whether this crash bar needs painting or not, and it doesn't. Could do with a clean light because you're gonna be able to see that. So that's good. So it's black already. In fact, it's body coloured. That's good. So yeah, we don't need this anymore now. What I might do is just put them. We'll put them back in there, so in case I do ever reverse this, then I know where they are. And then we'll give that a clean, and then that'll be ready for when we get the bumper sorted. So firstly, let's remove the wiring for the actual PDCs or the parking sensors. We're going to try and fit these back in to the new bumper. I'm going to look at how we can do that. It might be that we cut out a piece here from this original part and then bond it into the front bumper, but we'll see to that shortly. But first of all, let's disconnect this, and we need to move the wiring. So all the wiring's got to come out of all of these clips. So there's numerous clips, so I could get me my tool to remove this wiring. Here it is. So let's pop that behind there and pops them out easily. So now that's off, the next step is to now remove all of the Torx bits holding this on. I'm just looking here, what are these things? I think these are crash sensors. They might be a bit of a pain because we haven't got those brackets on the new grille to mount them on. Never mind, let's cross that bridge when we come to it. We need to remove this wiring here because this wiring also is attached to the grille. Right, I think that's everything off. So let's get the Torx out and remove these. Okay, so these clips here were a bit of a nightmare. They've got quite a bit of lip on and they wouldn't come out the little slot, but I've already put a feeler gauge down the front and the back of those, and then you should be able to pull it straight off, which you saw there. Right, so that's that bit off. So that's now down to the actual surround, the chrome surround, so that's got loads of screws on the outside, so let's take that off. So now let's remove the old one and let's trial fit this one. Whoa. So this surround comes with these plastic screws all around there, and I think they do actually match up with the original holes. So let's remove those, fit it on, and then screw them back in, and that should be that fitted. So the first mod we're going to have to get this fit is that those are the screws that come with the new surround, and those are the original ones which held the surround on. So they fit through a hole like this, so they're going to go through there, but as you'll see, this is way too big to go through that hole, so therefore we need to drill these holes to make them bigger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the grille on first, and then we'll see where this hole is in relation to the slot. As always with these things, they're never an easy fit, and I had to do a lot of work. Look at this. So I had to cut out quite a bit there, which was making this very wide. I've done it on both sides as well. It was making it very wide, and it was very hard to get it to seat right. But now, with those cut out, it's actually seating nicely. It will get pulled in with the screws. Now the good news is, remember these stupid plastic things that came out? Behind them is actually a thread. It's a proper metal thread that's been embedded into the fiberglass, so that's good. So what I found these and I found these, and I'm going to make a combination, see which ones need the longer ones. I might have to cut them down a bit, and the ones that need short ones can have them, and then we should be able to mount that on the back. So it's time to mount it up. I'll do that and then I'll get back to you. So now I've got the carbon fibre surround mounted. I've just got a couple, I'm going to cut some of them big screws down for that hole there and those two holes there because they're a bit deep. But what I'm just trying to do now is just trying to fit up the actual grille. So don't forget, this grille is off an E-pace. It isn't that far off. I think we're going to be able to do something with this. That goes over one of the bolts that hold the surround on. So does that. So I'll be able to do that. We've got some pins on the back I'm going to have to take off. Then this will go lower. I can drill a hole there and get one of the other pins. I can drill a hole there and get that there. Just a little bit lost up here somewhere, but no, I think that is probably doable. This one here with one of those long screws might actually go through there, so I could maybe place those two with the long screws. That gets a good few fixing points. Right, let me get this off. So what I do need to do is see these pins here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to break those off and then we'll carry on. So now we've got a bit closer by taking those pins off, but now we've got these here catching on this bit here, so we just need to trim that bit off on both sides. So I'll just mark that up. Right, let's trim those. So that's sitting nicely now, sitting almost flat. I'm just checking where else we can mount it, and one of the front surround bolts goes through there, so I'm going to drill a hole there. I can get one in there, one in there, and also the other one is there. So that gives me, well, I'll get that there with a washer on it. So that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down there, and then we're going to have, if we just elongate this hole here, we should be able to get through to that one, and elongate that hole. That's that one. And then one in the middle. So that's going to be plenty to secure that on. So let me get this grill off and get those holes drilled. We'll see what we can do from there. And that's it fitted from the back. So yeah, we've got it bolted up. Plenty places. That is not moving. That's not going anywhere. So if you remember the original Jag top part front grille, that had these crash sensors on, which actually fits roughly where that screw is there anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the plastic off here, take this mounting bracket and just bolt it on there, and then the same at this side. So that's going to be easy to get those in. So that's them sorted. Let me just give you a quick look at what it looks like from the front. Oh, look at that. That is looking absolutely fantastic. Fits lovely now. Now I've actually shaped it to go around. So the edges go nice and tight. And yeah, that grille looks awesome. Oh, well happy with that. So my next job is I'm going to get the crash sensors, and I'm hoping to get them fed in. How wide are they at the front here? So I'm just thinking, if I cut down one of these bits here, and then I could mould in the mounting. So if you remember where they came from, so they came from this front crash bar cover thing, but behind that is just a plastic welded on mounting part. Now what I'm thinking is to cut that out with the shape of this gloss black here, that'll fit inside one of those and hold my crash sensor. So I'm going to investigate that. I'll get back to you. So guys, still working on the PDCs, but I just thought I'd let you know I've got these crash sensors, or I think they're the pedestrian sensors, something like that. I've got those now mounted. I cut off this piece here from the original grille and then just bolted it on with that. And then what I've done, I've just tie wrapped it there because this one just was slightly moving, so that should stop it moving. So that's all nicely done. I've clipped up the wire up there, so that's all finished. I'm now looking at putting the license plate on. Let me show you what I've figured out really here. So what I like, this license plate, actually, if you look at the back of it, you can see You see that curve there? So just on the edge, and it basically fits perfectly there. So I'm looking at mounting it there. Now if you look, you've got these, let me go around back. You've got these two bits here. So what I'm going to do is I'll put some tie wrap, put a couple of tie wraps on. I'm going to see if I can tie wrap that onto those and tighten it up, and then hopefully just screw my plate straight back onto it. And that's a number plate now mounted with these tie wraps here and here. So have a look at the front, and that's what she looks like from the front now. So that's exactly what I want. It's nice and solid on that plate there, and it just sits in there, lovely. So let me show you what I've done to get these PDCs to fit correctly. So from the back, I don't know if you can see it, but I've actually cut out from there to make that bigger. I've done that both sides where the PDCs need to fit. And then what I've done, I've taken the front crash bar, which is this, and I've cut out, with the PDC connected, a piece of plastic like that. I then bit by bit shaped it and shaped it and shaped it until you end up with something that looks like this. Alrighty, so we've got them on. So I've just put a bit of masking tape at the back to just hold them on while I'm doing this. Now, yeah, it's not, that one wasn't as good. This one went much better. But it's just a matter of just cutting and shaping little by little, and hopefully you should get them to fit in. But once they're on the car, once everything's back on, they're going to look fine. You know, from here, they're going to look absolutely perfect. And just show it, well, I can't really show you the back, but you can see through the edge. So they're just bonded on there. So I'm not sure if you can see that. So I just bonded that on, and on there as well. And the same with that side. So I'm going to let them dry, and once they're dry, we should then be able to fit the sensors back in them, plug them all up, and that is the end of it. I'll be able to get this bumper back on the car. And there we go. So that's that one, and that's that one. So hopefully they're going to work well. I'll show you the back. So wiring is exactly as it was. So it just drops down there, and same on that side, just drops down there, which can hardly be seen from this side at all. So yes, well pleased. So now let's get this back on the car at last. Okay, let's check out what this looks like in the sunshine. Absolutely fantastic. That's exactly the look that I'm going for, and I think it makes 100% difference to the front of the Jag. Got rid of that bloody crash bar now, so I'm well happy with that. So loving the look of my Jag now. Now I've got a set of Evolution wheels here for sale now, so I'm going to stick them up on, I don't know, my Facebook Marketplace. So anybody watching this, if you want a set of Evolution Jag wheels, then you know, hit me up. All my contact details are in the description below the video, so go check it out and drop me a line if you're interested in those wheels. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give me the thumbs up. It all helps for the analytics. But until the next time, stay safe.